Okay, we're at the front of the truck here. I bought it with this grill on, so I don't know what make or anything it is. I don't particularly care for it anymore. Once upon a time I thought it looked pretty good, but not anymore. I might paint this outline black and then repolish up the part in here and take this emblem off, but that's just really to do a video for you guys. Eventually this grill is gonna come off this truck for something a little nicer. Comment below what you guys might want to see us put on, or any recommendations would be appreciated. I did do the cutout for the 05 style headlights, where you cut the header panel behind here to be able to fit this in. As you can kind of see, they are in rough shape. They got a fair amount of sun damage. I'm going to do a video on trying to clean these up and save these without having to put new headlights in. I do really like this style. If I do switch, I might be looking at maybe putting some projector headlights in and then maybe an HID kit down the road. Same deal with my fog lights, going to look at cleaning them up. This truck was originally in California and then Texas, and then I had it shipped up to Pennsylvania. So it has a fair amount of sun damage on it. I don't think it's too bad, but there's some parts that definitely need replaced. Down below here, you can see I have the steering stabilizers put on. They are FabTech. It is two. I don't know if you can see the one behind it. I just wanted something a little different than the ones everyone else is putting on. Okay, we're gonna take a look under the hood now. There's not a whole lot done under here. There's just a few things. I have the S&B cold air intake. This filter is about due for cleaning, so there's a good chance I'll probably do a quick video on that. It's very easy. I've done it one other time. You can see here, this is my coolant filter kit. If you come over here, it's from Extreme Diesel Performance. The only complaint I have about that is these ball valves have gone bad. I'm on like my third set, so I am going to look at getting maybe something a little heavier duty from maybe some kind of hardware store or something, to try to not have to replace these every other year, because it's not hard, it's just irritating to have to do. Other than that, we have a aftermarket alternator. It's from Nation's Starter and Alternators. It's 185 amp alt. It's been holding up great. I did have one issue with it. It died in the first year of having it replaced under warranty, and it's been going good for I think 3 or 4 years after. They took care of everything there with the warranty. It wasn't too bad. My truck was down for a week, but other than that, it was good. And the only other thing under the, well, I guess there's two things under the hood here. I did put the Riff Raff boots on both sides. This is an early 04, so I have a 03 engine in it, so it came with the metal side pipe. And last, I have Barter Turbo Services belay wheel in my turbo. I'm looking at probably replacing the compressor housing to put a 63 by 5 or 63 by 7, I forget the exact size used, compressor housing on it. It's the 03 turbo, so those of you guys that really kind of know your stuff know that it has the bigger turbine side with the 10 blade turbine in there. Over here I have my power cord for my amp. I'll show you guys that in a little bit. When I do get to working under the hood, we are going to do a video on cleaning this up. I just kind of threw it in here, but I want to do a video on making it look nice and just a little more professional than I do now. That's it. Okay, we're on the side of the truck now. This is I have a 6-inch tip on a 4-inch turbo back exhaust. It's MagnaFlow. Stainless steel. It's held up great for 5 years. Sounds really good. I'm gonna show you guys that at the end of the video. Josh felt the need to put a little streak in my little exhaust smoke area there. My rims, they're MB wheels. They are a brand from Discount Tire Direct. I've had them on the truck for 8 months or so now. They've held up really well. I really like them. They're 18s. These are essentially 35-inch tires. The exact tire size is 295 70/18s. Toyo Open Country all-terrains. They've been good tires. I've gotten actually decent fuel economy out of them too. Not that that's a huge concern with these trucks, but it does help. If you look in here, my leaf spring pack, it came factory with the 350 spring pack. I did put a BDS dual add-a-leaf kit in, so there's 2 extra leaves in there. I did that prior to putting these in, my Firestone Ride Right airbags, which don't waste your time with the add-a-leaves. Put the airbags in, they're awesome. I absolutely love them. If I bought a brand new truck today, I would put those in there. I love them that much. Okay, we're on the side of the truck here. These are the factory badges. I took some acetone to them, just took the black part off. The Lariat emblem never really got nice, so I'm probably going to be replacing these with maybe 05 style badges in the future. But they do look, I think, a little nicer than they did. Nothing too hard to do there. I put the 08 style tow mirrors on. These do have the power fold option that I have not finished wiring up. We're going to do a video on that, just showing like all the wires ran. I just didn't hook it up into my fuse box, so we're going to show that at some point too. And the last thing here on the side I want to show you, again, the rims you guys have already seen, but I have a Rough Country 2.5-inch leveling kit on it. I'm looking at doing a dual shock conversion kit later. Some of you may have noticed I have stainless steel braided lines. Okay, we're at the back of the truck here. It came with the factory with the backup sensors, the hitch here, which probably every truck came with, and right here I have my hookups for my airbags. I ran it right here. I don't ever use my hitch here. I only tow with my 5th wheel, so this wasn't really needed, so I hooked it up there. It works really well. Looks fairly clean all in all. Inside, this is what's left of my Bedliner. I bought it with a spray-in Bedliner, and for the first like 2-3 years it held up really well, and these last couple it's kind of started coming up, so I started the process of peeling it off. The tailgate was all done. I just have one little strip here, and that's completely finished. And if you look here, you can see it's just starting to peel up. It's not terribly hard to get up, but it's not always easy either. I don't know what brand of liner it was. We're going to do a video on tearing all the rest of this out, and I'm looking at having Line-X put in the truck at a later date. It might not be Line-X, but there's definitely going to go a much nicer Bedliner in than what I got it with. One that preferably I can't peel off like that. So 5th wheel rails, of course. I did LED 3rd brake light. Okay, we're inside the cab now. Just a couple things done. I did put a Android head unit in here. The brand name for this is Pumpkin. It's been a pretty good head unit. There are some issues with it. Nothing too major, but if you like to download a bunch of stuff, it's a little short on storage. Can be a little glitchy at times, but it's still a great head unit. I do recommend them. Just do your research. There's a lot more options now on the market than there were a few years back when I did this. The other thing is, these do not just fit right in. There is some minor cutting involved. Josh took a file on his. I chose to use a Dremel. It turned out pretty good. I get a lot of compliments on it, or a lot of people when I tell them it didn't belong in here, saying they're a little shocked. Granted, they don't know the trucks. They don't know that this clearly was not around when this truck was made. My brake controller, I'm going to zoom in on the name there. I'm not going to try and pronounce it. I do recommend it. It's been a great brake controller. I do love it. Even if you just like to keep tabs on your voltage, you can easily do that. Obviously my truck's off, so it's not quite as high as it should be, but it's, like I said, it's done very good. The only other thing done up front here is I have a exhaust temp gauge. It's from Glow Shift. It's about 2.5 years old. A lot of people say a lot of bad things about this company. I can't complain. It was cheap and it's worked really well for the time I've had it. I do want to say I opted for one that starts at 400 degrees. These trucks idle less than 400 degrees, so it didn't work very well. Well, it works, just if you're kind of particular about that, or if you want to see exactly what you're at, you're not going to be able to on this. What I've done is, just as long as when I go to shut the truck off, it's at least at 400. If it just came down to 400 degrees, I give it another 5-10 seconds. And I haven't had any issues with, they say to watch out for the oil that's in your turbo. I haven't had any issues thus far. I do have over here, this is the button for the power fold. Like I said, it's all hooked up. I just need to give it some power. Okay, we're in the back now. Pull down here. The only things I have back here, I have two 12-inch kicker subwoofers. This was a custom-made box by my brother Josh for Christmas one year. It's held up pretty well. I am not overly kind to these subwoofers. They've been pretty durable. I am running them at a little more power than they were meant to hold, but they've been doing really well with that. And I've been happy with them. There aren't a ton of these boxes out there, at least when I was looking to get two 12-inch subwoofers in a truck, but I did have to cut this. I am going to do a video on cleaning up this install and making it look a little more professional than it does now, especially on this next part I'm going to show you. Scoot in here. This is my amp. It's an MB Quartz 1500 watt RMS at 1 ohm. Currently it's being run at 2 ohm because those are not dual voice coil subs. And I've been really happy with it. It is a budget amp, but it's performed very well. Part of what we're going to do as one of the videos is a install of an amp rack that's going to go under my back seat here. I'm not putting the grate back in, that's out. A negative, or excuse me, my ground wire, positive. So we're just going to clean this all up. It's real messy right now, but we're going to make a whole video on how to make it look nice and like a professional installed it. It's really not that hard when we get to that. That is it for in here.